From the three-point obsession to watered-down gameplay and the insane cost of just walking into an arena, something is draining the soul out of basketball. You've probably heard that guy who says, "I don't watch the NBA anymore because it's too woke."
Hall of Fame coach Phil Jackson appearing on a podcast and explaining why he's not watching the NBA. Jackson had issue with slogans used in the bubble in 2020.
But let's be real, that's not why fans are tuning out. The truth is, the game itself has lost its edge. And at the heart of it all, the NBA feels less like a sport and more like a business. Tickets aren't just expensive, they're built to squeeze fans dry. This season, for example, a family of 4 pays an average of $320.31 just for cheap seats, parking, and snacks. That's not basketball, that's a business model. So the big question is, what's really happening to the NBA today? Let's break it down, because it's not just one problem, it's a whole pileup. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. The sticker shock reality. Going to an NBA game in 2025 isn't just expensive, it's straight up a luxury now. Ticket prices are through the roof. And if you want to see a marquee matchup like the Lakers with LeBron in town, you're paying special event prices. Here's the math. In the whole season for a family of 4, the cheapest possible night out runs about average $320.31. That's 4 low-end tickets, a parking spot, 2 beers, 2 sodas, and 4 hot dogs. The cost shows a modest rise of $11.67, or 3.6%, compared to 2023. And if you're aiming for Madison Square Garden or Crypto.com Arena, even the nosebleeds will drain your wallet. And resale? Forget it. StubHub shows ticket prices spike about a week before the game, so you're left with 2 ugly options: massively overpay or roll the dice and pray for a last-minute deal. But once you're inside, the bleed doesn't stop. Concessions are insane. Even the cheap arenas are only cheap in comparison to the worst offenders. You can't bring food in, you can't leave and come back, so arenas basically lock you in and mark everything up. Just grabbing a couple of snacks and drinks can turn a pricey night into a brutal one. And don't even get me started on parking. At Crypto.com Arena and Chase Center, parking alone feels like what full game experiences used to cost. Teams could ease the hit for fans, but instead, they keep squeezing every possible revenue stream. What used to be a night for the community now feels more like a product designed only for the people who can afford it. The premium seat explosion. While the average fan is sweating over how expensive a regular ticket is, the NBA has shifted gears and shifted them hard. The league is now doubling down on premium seat packages for corporate clients and the ultra-rich. Courtside access has transcended mere geography. It's now a luxury product that includes private lounges, gourmet dining, and even the chance to meet the players. These aren't tickets anymore. They're curated experiences, and that reveals exactly where the NBA's head is at. Instead of trying to pack arenas with as many fans as possible, the league is opting to squeeze maximum revenue out of every single sold seat. Accessibility? That's taken a back seat. Exclusivity? That's the game. The viewership exodus. But here's where it backfires. Ticket prices keep climbing while actual viewership is going the other way. And the league knows it. More and more fans are choosing to stay home instead of blowing hundreds of dollars just to sit in the building. And the irony is hard to ignore. The NBA is chasing higher per-seat revenue, but the more they do, the fewer people can afford to actually show up. Add to that the fact that watching at home has never been better. Big 4K TVs, endless coverage, cheap food, and beer. So honestly, why would anyone pay $400 for a nosebleed seat when you can get a better view from your couch? The business model behind the madness. To really understand why NBA tickets are so expensive, you've got to look at the league's financial system. And it's built in a way that rewards squeezing fans. The NBA uses what's called a soft salary cap, which for the 2025-26 season is set at $154,647,000, with a luxury tax threshold at $187,000,000 to $895,000. Here's the catch. When teams go over that limit, they don't just pay a fine, they pay penalties that get exponentially worse the further they go. Just look at this. Golden State shelled out a record $170 million in luxury taxes, and the Suns weren't far behind, getting hit with a $152.26 million bill for the 2024-25 season. And it doesn't stop there. That luxury tax money gets redistributed to the teams that spend less, meaning the big market franchises are basically subsidizing their smaller competitors. But they're not eating that cost themselves. Fans are. Then there's the revenue sharing system. Teams like the Lakers, Warriors, and Knicks bring in 10 times more revenue than small market teams, which the league tries to even out through redistribution. But here's the key: this doesn't make tickets cheaper. All it does is create pressure on every team to squeeze as much money as possible just to keep up with the arms race. The NBA ground becomes a source of income. Barclays Center isn't just a place to watch basketball anymore, it's built to print money. This arena blends the game with luxury, offering fans high-end clubs, bars, and even a food program called Brooklyn Taste, where neighborhood restaurants and vendors are brought inside the building. And then there's the exclusive Crown Club Garden. This takes things to another level, an all-you-can-eat gourmet buffet, a full-on dessert room, and yes, a make-your-own gelato machine. Guests who've been there call it shockingly amazing. Courtside fans don't just walk to their seats either. They get personally escorted through the players' tunnel, turning an NBA game into something unforgettable. Barclays is home to both the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Liberty. With 19,000 seats, it's also the centerpiece of the Pacific Park development. It's owned by the New York State Empire State Development Authority and leased out to Joseph Tsai's BSE Global. And here's the deal: Barclays Center pulls in more than $238 million a year, while completely redefining what it means to go to a game. Now, Madison Square Garden took the same idea but doubled down. After a $1 billion renovation, they actually cut 15% of general admission seats just to make room for more luxury boxes. That wasn't just about making people more comfortable, it was straight up about math. Premium seats and suites account for less than 20% of total seating. But for most teams, those seats bring in 60 to 70% of ticket revenue. Even league insiders admit the average is still close to 50%. Put it this way: one courtside ticket sold to a hedge fund executive is worth more than 20 regular fans combined. And it's not just basketball. The Garden also hosts Rangers games, concerts, big events, and it's set to host the NCAA Men's East Regional Tournament, along with the 2015 NBA All-Star Game. Here's where things really change. The NBA's business model has shifted to selling players as celebrities more than promoting actual teams. It's created a whole celebrity culture that sometimes overshadows the competitive side of basketball. Rivalries used to be about franchises, but now they're framed around star players: LeBron versus Curry, Durant versus Giannis. The league has made the presence of these athletes more important than the quality of basketball itself. And guess what? That sells. Tickets, merch, TV ratings, they all skyrocket when the focus is on stars. But it also skews how fans see the game. Take the All-Star Game as an example. Fan voting is supposed to reward performance, but most of the time it's a straight-up popularity contest. Big names get spots even when their season isn't great. Social media made this even bigger. Today's players have direct access to millions of fans, building personal brands so strong they can rival entire franchises. This has helped the NBA blow up globally and hooked younger fans in ways other leagues only dream of. But it also raises a big question: is the NBA turning into a giant popularity contest, where being a celebrity matters more than actually playing great basketball? Players, brand ambassadors first, superstars second. Normally, you'd think people follow players, not brands. But in the NBA, it's the other way around. Fans are loyal to the logo on the jersey, not the guy wearing it. When Saquon left the Giants, those fans didn't suddenly become Eagles fans. When Dwayne Wade left Miami for Cleveland, Heat fans didn't pack up and follow him. Sure, there are unicorns like LeBron who are bigger than any one team, but that's rare. Most players, they're ambassadors for the team's brand. And when they start going rogue or acting toxic, like what Jimmy Butler's been doing lately, fans turn on them quick. It's not even personal, it's about protecting the team. What players sometimes forget is that loyalty is part of the product. Fans buy into the team, the culture, the legacy. If you quit on that, you're not just quitting on management, you're quitting on the fans. That's why the NBA needs to remind players, contracts aren't just about buckets, they're about representing the brand. Heat fans will still be Heat fans with or without Jimmy Butler. The only real question is, does he want to be remembered as part of that legacy, or as the guy who walked away from it? All right, let's talk about the three-pointer. It used to be a weapon. Now it's the entire playbook. Steph Curry came along, changed the league upside down, and for a while it was incredible. But now, every team thinks they're the Warriors, and spoiler alert, they're not. You've got squads chucking up 53s a night, and half of them barely even hit the rim. Post moves? Extinct. Watching an NBA game now can feel like Groundhog Day. Dribble, kick out, shoot a three, rinse and repeat. The variety that used to make basketball beautiful has been replaced with a copy and paste strategy. Yeah, I get it. The math guys say the three is the most efficient shot, but sports aren't supposed to feel like a spreadsheet. They're supposed to give you chills, make your heart race. Watching dudes brick threes from 27 feet out isn't exactly the kind of thrill that keeps you glued to the screen. Trash talk, a lost art. And while we're here, let's talk about what else the NBA's lost. The art of trash talk. Michael Jordan wasn't just the greatest because of his skills, he was a mind game master. He'd tell you exactly how he was going to embarrass you, then go do it with a grin. Larry Bird? The man once walked into a three-point contest locker room and asked everybody who was playing for second place. Reggie Miller? He had Spike Lee so rattled during a playoff game that Spike basically went silent the rest of the series. But today, everyone's best buddies. And sure, friendship is cool, but save that for the offseason. Fans don't tune in to watch hugs and laughs during a timeout. They want intensity, they want drama, they want to believe these players actually care about beating each other's heads in on the court. Let's get something straight. The NBA didn't lose fans because it went woke. That's just lazy talk. The league has always been socially conscious. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was speaking out on civil rights long before most people even knew what activism was. Players having opinions? That's nothing new. And it's definitely not what's pushing fans away. The real issue isn't players speaking their minds, it's that what's happening on the court doesn't always grab you the way it used to. Back in the 90s, the games felt wild, unpredictable, and intense. If today's matchups had that same energy, nobody would care what LeBron tweets. They'd be too busy debating if his squad could even get past the Celtics. But here's the thing, it's not just the arenas that feel different. It's the soul of the sport. Owners who used to live for the roar of the crowd now seem more focused on spreadsheets than wins. Take Mark Cuban. He didn't sell the Mavericks because he stopped loving basketball. He sold because the version of the game he fell for isn't the same one that's being packaged and sold today. Courtside seats aren't about passion anymore. They're about power. And the emptiest sound in sports? Those rows of luxury seats that are technically sold but sit empty night after night. Yeah, the league's thriving. Teams are worth billions. Players have never been richer. Owners are stacking profits like never before. But the everyday fan, the lifeblood of the game, is priced out, watching from behind glass or stuck behind some paywall. Somewhere along the way, basketball stopped being just a game and turned into an investment portfolio. The NBA is bigger than it's ever been. But is it better? Because the soul of this sport was never in luxury boxes. It was always in the noise, the chaos, the people. Can the NBA still be for the fans? So the real question isn't, can the NBA make more money? It's, can the NBA still make memories for everyone? If you've ever lost your voice in the cheap seats, if you've ever skipped a bill just to watch your team play live, if you still believe basketball belongs to the fans, this is your time to speak up. Drop a comment and tell us what you'd change about today's NBA. Do we need more access? Cheaper tickets? Or maybe a total rethink of what it even means to be a fan? And hey, if this story hits home, don't just scroll. Hit like, share it around, and subscribe, because we're only scratching the surface here. From the power moves behind the scenes to the legends who redefine the game, we've got plenty more NBA stories to break down. Catch you next time.